Hello, Jeremy Chambers, Independence Acres Homestead. We're really excited to share with you today some changes that are coming to our homestead as we prepare to go into winter. Even though we already got our first snowfall, and it feels like winter is already here, winter is actually still almost a month away. We're only just the week into Thanksgiving here, but we've got to get moving because it's going to happen quick. So a few of the things that we have going on here in order to prepare for winter's arrival is we're working on the garden. We are going to be out there probably for a couple hours here today, trying to get the old plants pulled down, the tomato vines off the trellis, the squash vines off the trellis, rake up as many of the green and frostbitten tomatoes that have fallen to the ground as we can so that those don't begin to grow back in next spring. Also, once we get all of that raked up, the next step is going to be to put down some cardboard. We got a wonderful, great supply of cardboard that came this week because we had some new furniture delivered. That's always an exciting thing. And so we're going to lay down that cardboard layer, put down some straw, some compost out of the compost pile. A lot of work there because we've got compost going back almost 8 years in that pile. So the layers coming down through the compost are actually kind of pretty. And another thing we've got to do is we've got to decide what we're going to be doing with the Rabbitry as we go into this winter. A couple changes are going to be coming up. Number one, we're going to be introducing a new breed here onto our homestead. And here's a couple reasons why. The first reason is because, well, I'm just looking for a little variety. We love the Californians. We love their personalities. We love their mothering instincts. But through this year, we've kind of had some challenges with that. The first one being that our litter sizes just haven't been where we want them to be. We think that might be due to the buck that we had, Jupiter, if you remember him. Great guy, good personality, nice body type. But he's just not throwing those large litters that we need in order to maintain the meat production here on the homestead, and also in order to provide the breeding stock for the people in the area who are looking to add rabbits to their homesteads and to their properties. So we're going to be looking to acquire another buck from some outside stock, possibly even some offspring of our previous buck and does that we had, which would kind of be amazing to bring those genes and those genetics back into our Rabbitry and just get that going again, get those litter sizes back up. Also, some of the does that we picked up this last spring, I'm not really super happy with their personalities. Kind of timid, a little shy. They were great mothers for the litters that they produced, but once again, they were small litters, but mostly we think that was because of Jupiter and not because of them. So, like I said, we'll be introducing a new buck, hopefully within the next couple weeks. There'll be some more information coming out on that here as time goes on, but we decided to bring actually a new breed into our Rabbitry. I'm really excited about this, guys. This is a American Chinchilla is the breed that we're going to be that we actually already purchased this last week. We picked up a buck and a doe, and we're going to be looking to introducing those genes into our Rabbitry here. Doing a little crossbreeding with the Californians to see if we can get the litter size and the growth rate up a little bit, but also to breed them directly to get some purebred and pedigreed rabbits so that we can begin to sell off some of those, because we want to kind of expand the American Chinchilla back into the market here. It's a pretty limited rabbit. They're labeled as a rare or possibly even an endangered rabbit species here in the United States. The story of how the American Chinchilla rabbit was developed is actually a pretty interesting one. The Chinchilla breed was originally brought over from France around 1915 to 1919. And it was brought over, just a trio of rabbits was brought over, and some Americans, you know, we need to make everything bigger and better. So they took that French Chinchilla rabbit stock, and they began to selectively breed in over about a 6-year period from 1919 to 1924, 1925. They began to breed what eventually became known at that point as a giant chinchilla. And then there were some naming issues there, so they settled on American Chinchilla for this particular breed, and it was first recognized by the ARBA the late 1920s into the early 1930s. So the reason there was a focus to get the size, the body size of the chinchilla rabbit larger is because they were trying to increase the body size in order to get a rabbit that would be good for a dual-purpose rabbit. You know, you'd be able to have that commercial production for meat, but then also have a quality pelt that could be used in the fur industry. Now, you know, during that the 20s and 30s, early 30s there, you know, fur was a big thing. But as we went into the World War II there, the fur market began to dwindle, and then after World War II, things just kind of came to a halt with the fur industry. So the usefulness of the American Chinchilla that was developed kind of went away. So it was because of that lack of demand for the furs that this rabbit began to wane in popularity. So as the years went on, fewer and fewer people were raising them for fur, but they became very important for the backyard meat rabbit enthusiast. So it's only because of people like us that are looking to maintain these rabbits for meat production that this rabbit has continued to stay here in the United States, that this particular breed of rabbit still is in existence here in the United States. And if it wasn't for the meat production people, the American Chinchilla rabbit might not even be in existence today. Like I said, it's labeled as threatened or rare by the American Rabbit Breeders Association. So we're really excited to have these rabbits on our homestead, being able to see what we're going to do. So without further ado, let me introduce you to our 2 new rabbits. So first is the buck. Hey buddy, come here. So this is Louis. So because of the French heritage of the chinchilla rabbit, we decided to go with French names. So we're going to call the buck Louis. He's a pretty good rabbit, pretty big sized rabbit. He was born March of this year, so that puts him right at about 7 months old. He's got maybe another 1.5 pounds or 2 in order to gain before he reaches his full adult weight. But right now he's weighing in right around 9 pounds. I'm really happy with his body type and size, and man, I tell you, this coat, I mean, just look at that. It's just such a plush coat. And the very cool thing about their coat is it's actually kind of a tri-color coat. So they've got a blue steel base with a white band and then a black band. I don't know if you can see that there, but just an amazing rabbit with their fur there. So we're really excited with this guy, and let me grab the doe real quick. Hey, honey. All right. And this is Eleanor. Once again, French name. We got Louis and Eleanor. They were actually a married couple back in the early 12th century in France. And so she is a little lighter colored. Her black band hasn't fully come in yet, but her blue bands under her fur here is just an amazing coloration. Look at that blue. Just a beautiful bunny. We are really happy. I'm really happy with the quality of these rabbits and their fur, and yeah, really looking forward and excited to see what we can do with these guys here on the homestead. All right, well, I think that's it for today. I really appreciate you guys joining us. Don't forget to like and subscribe, see what else is going to be going on in the next couple of weeks here on our homestead. And until next time, God bless. Hi, Eleanor. Hi, baby. Hi, yeah. Pretty girl.